Hey, good morning, friends. Sorry, we are a little late this morning, but have a little bit of what I consider a treat for you. Good morning, Karen. You're still fighting with us. Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. Hi, Donna. Good morning, everybody. How are you this morning? Hey, Karen. Good morning, Donna. John, good morning to you. Glad you're here. Hi, Jane and John. Glad you're with us. So glad you're here. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So good morning. It is the 10th day of May, middle of May already, friends. And we are at 11:11-ish. So welcome today on this Tuesday. We have a special treat for you this morning. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Yvette. We're at, I was just about to tell you, Donna, we are at Second Congregational Church in Plymouth, Massachusetts. It is the oldest meeting house, it's standing meeting house in Plymouth. So think about where the Pilgrims landed. This is the oldest meeting house, established in 1745. This meeting house, and it is a joy to be here because this was one of the very first churches I ever interned at as a newly training pastor. It was in the 19s, I think it was 98 or 97, 98 year, that I spent a year here as a pastor intern training. And I actually walked through the door today, and there was one of the people, Lori, that was on my committee that was there, was still a part of this church, providing hospitality for our meeting here today. So it's a joy. For me, there's very much of a homecoming in this place. That almost 20 whatever years ago it was, somebody can do the math, 25 plus years ago, that from that pulpit right there, right behind me, I preached one of my very, very first sermons. And this place is very much a classic meeting house, as you can see. Box pews, beautiful balcony, lots of very cool stuff as far as, if you ask me about what I think's cool, I think it's cool. But this place had a great formation for me because it was this place that, and this is how one of these things worked, is that we would be a student pastor and we would work under a senior pastor, a guy by the name of Mark Mendes, who I will forever be indebted. He's still pastoring up in Northeast Kingdom, Vermont, and just a treasure of a human being for me, admiring me, seeing things in me, helping me, keeping me out of trouble, all of it. And also there was a group of lay people that came together, and that you would meet with them regularly, and that they would encourage you and, hopefully catch you doing things right, sometimes catch you doing things wrong, but helping you develop an identity as a pastor. Because here's the thing about being me, and because let's talk about me today. But I think this transfers to all of us. At least I hope it does, or else it's going to be really embarrassing. That what happens is that what the real challenge, for instance, of being a pastor, being in pastoral ministry, is not the fact that you can learn all kinds of stuff about Bible. That's great, but lots of people know that, and we have Google now. We don't really need that. But there's also the aspect of learning the craft and the things, the ability to speak in front of people, and all those sorts of things come with it. But the real question is what it is to be at what we call identity formation, which is the idea of being the guy who shows up to the cocktail party and says, yes, I'm a pastor. Yes, I am a minister. I'm a person who goes for God. That's what I do, and that's who I am. So that we are become formed and we become comfortable enough to be that person because when you say that, and I encourage everybody to do this, when you go to the Piggly Wiggly, you go to Shaw's, you go to Market Basket, wherever you do your shopping, go out and just in the checkout line, when you're chatting with people or whatever, you're looking at vegetables with somebody, work that in that you're a pastor and see what happens. Just get that reaction, because it's and now. The whole point of this is not that you might know what it is to be me. That's not my point. But my point is, my hope is that maybe you'll see a little bit of what it is to be you. Because this place that I'm standing in helped form my identity. It helped me form who I am in this world and who I'm going to claim to be, where I'm going to be willing to stand, what conversations I'm going to be willing to have with people, how I am willing to be perceived for the things that I believe in, how I'm willing to be perceived for the things that I believe in. And so the question is about our own identity formation. The gift of this place is it helped me figure that out. And it gave me enough confidence, and it gave me enough ability to kind of wrangle around in myself and say, okay, self, this is who the self is going to be now. And clearly, being a pastor is not all the things that I am. Anybody who knows me knows that's not true. That being a part of, but it is a part of who I am, and it's a part of what I do in this world, and what I commit myself to in this world, just as you have many parts. But the question is who in your life is helping you cultivate your identity? And I don't care how old you are. Like, you can say, oh, well, I'm pretty well along, and I think I pretty much know who I am. It's like, like, you don't. Sorry. But I don't know about, but I continue to surprise myself, and I'm not that weird. Well, maybe I am that weird, but I'm not really that weird, that I continue to discover things about how I'm wired, how my heart is, how my heart opens, how my understanding works, and how I'm wired. I continue even at at this venerable age of 52 to discover these things. And I discover them so often in community with other people, in conversations with other people, in cultivations with other people, that help identify who I am in this world. And not just who I am in this world, but who it is that God has made me to be. The psalmist tells us we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Meaning we are fearfully made, meaning we are made with awe. We are like, if you really unzipped your little meat suit and exposed the true heart and nature and true spirit of who you are, it would blow any of our minds. It would blow even the most simple person you think, even the most straightforward and boring person you can imagine in your life. If you were to see them fully disclosed, if you were to see them transfigured as Jesus was transfigured on the mountain, if you were to see them in their full authenticity, they will blow your mind. They're creatures that we all stand in awe of. What dwells inside of us. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. That which dwells inside of us is not ugly and snakes and all the things that are in little boys with like puppy dog tails and all those sorts of things. It is that we are wonderfully made. We are constructed with the fabric of the universe in beauty. We are constructed as vessels of the beautiful. We are constructed in incredible, deep, and powerful ways. And all of that dwells inside you. And now that needs something to hold it. It needs some structure. And that hopefully the structure that's around it, this identity stuff that I was talking about before, the work that this place and these people helped me do, I hope you have those people in your life that continue. Snakes and snails and puppy dog tails. Thank you. That's what I was going for. That there's more to you, more inside of you than that. There's more inside of you. And that it is who we are in this world that permits us to give voice to it, to give expression to it. And it is the people around us that help us discover that. It was, for me, this place that helped me. It was the people here that helped me to first discover what it was to step into my call to ministry and to what it is to be that person that would be called into ministry and thusly give expression to all the stuff that I give expression to. What's all the stuff in you that God's calling you to give expression to? That love is calling you to give expression to? That passion is calling you to give expression to in this world that doesn't necessarily have a form in your identity yet? Like maybe you're not an artist. Maybe you're not we think these titles actually box us in, but the reality is these titles actually give us containers in which to hold the beauty that is within us. For me, a lot of it happens to be ministry, but for you, it could be anything. And just as I am so blessed to have had this community in this place, and I wanted to share it with you today because it is such a blessing to me, and it has been such a blessing, it is also my encouragement to you and hope that you have this blessing in your life. And that if you don't, go find some people that love you enough to explore who you are. Go find some people. This is what we do as church, is to discover what our spiritual gifts are. What is it that God's calling us to do? This is what we do as a community. This is what we do at First Congregational Church. This is what we do as we journey with each other. And we say, I think I want to do this. We have a whole new visiting ministry that we're talking about launching in one of the places in Fall River. That the opportunity is to have people who go visit some lonely people. And why? Because one person in the church had an encounter with the place and felt called to do it and begin to open that door. Why? Because it was part of their identity as a person in Christ. It was a part of what God was calling them to do, and they began to step into that. Friends, I don't know what it is for you. I can't know what it is for you. But what I can do is encourage you, pray for you, that you'll find a group of people like that I found, or a person, or you'll find a conversation, or you'll find a willingness in a place. First Congregational Church in Fall River is not a bad place to do it. That will encourage you and encourage the way in which you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Because the reality is, the world desperately needs you. The world desperately needs your gift. The world desperately needs that shining, shimmering being that is inside of you to come and spend its gifts about the world. God, the world needs your laughter and your joy in service well given, not just in a joke well told. The world needs your compassion and your love and your grace and gratitude and all the things that it opens up. The world needs your fire and your spirit. The world needs it. In fact, that which has been given to us by Christ is all that's ever really saved the world as it flows through we human beings. So, friends, my hope for you is you'll find some folks to nurture you. You'll find some folks to help your identity formation. You'll find some folks to help you step into some new roles, some new containers for the brilliance, for the fearful awesomeness that dwells within you, for the wonderful being of which you are made, and that in the days ahead, you will find yourself with new titles and new ways of understanding, so that in them you may know God's abundance for you, and God's abundance love for the world. All right, friends, that's my hope for you today. I hope you will hold this. If you ever get down to beautiful Menomet, it's one of the southern beaches down in Plymouth, Massachusetts. I encourage you to, on a Sunday morning, to come by Second Congregational Church of Plymouth, Menomet. It is a beloved little group of saints who have given me great gifts, and it is my hope you too will receive the same gifts in your life. Peace and grace to you, my friends, and we'll pick it up tomorrow with another 11:11.